Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Real Thoughts and Conversations, where your thoughts can make our conversation. So let's bring on everybody to the stage because we got a really good show tonight. Oren, Mr. Hamilton, how we doing tonight, fellas?
Doing
All
amazing,
good.
brother.
How's everybody doing?
Doing well, gentlemen.
All right.
Good. So look, we're at the end of November, but that doesn't mean the men's mental health talk stops. Okay. But on top of that, I do want to add in that what's today? Thursday. I believe yesterday was International Men's Day,
Okay.
where everybody just show appreciation to the men. I've seen it all on my Twitter feed.
You got to tell me about
But,
that one. That's new to me.
yes, I do. But here's my actual first question. We're gonna do two mental health questions and then one more question to end it out for tonight. So here's my first question. What part of yourself do you feel you have to hide to be strong?
That's a good question.
You be coming with them bangers, brother.
Wow,
I'm telling you, like when I tell you, I got these loaded up and ready.
I love
it. Like pre-show, I had to pull these up. I'm like, wait, I had some bigger question for the next one.
I love
So,
it. Mr. Hamilton, you go first, brother. And I'm not trying to take over. Anthony, just you go first because I'm gonna need you to repeat it again for me. Go ahead, Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah, I was probably gonna say, age. I just look at, most men. I'm 32. Most men are in the second career by at least age 40. So I'm like, I'm still kind of young, but still get the job done. But just based on career wise, most men are, in their second career by age 40. So just that part of me.
All right, repeat that for me, brother. I'm gonna need that one more time. That question. No,
yeah.
You're good, Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah.
I need Anthony. Repeat that for me one more time. That question.
Oh, the question?
Yes, sir.
I got you. So, what part of yourself, or parts, if you have multiple, what parts of yourself do you feel you have to hide to be strong?
Wow. So I got to go in real quick. I literally was having a conversation with someone earlier about this, and the deep part about it is that whenever it is, and if ever we are, meaning we as men, want to express how we feel about something, we have to hide it. And I hate to say that we have to hide it because a lot of times, depending on who we talk to, it gets used against us. We hear it come back up at a later date in a way that when we were being vulnerable, so to speak, we were trying to be transparent and be present in a moment, but it has an interesting way, man, how it comes back around, you know, later on down the road. So I would say probably sometimes sharing how I may feel about something, my particular perspective on something that goes a little deeper than just something surface. So most of the time in those moments, I'll just choose to just say nothing. But it also depends on who I'm talking to. So the old saying, if we are either provided a safe space, then we can vent, we can share. It kind of takes me back some years back when I was a part. I'll just say I was a part of, even though I was leading it, a part of a men's fellowship at a church that I was going to. One of the most important things that I used to say when we started out was that after we opened up in prayer, if it was anything that anybody had on their heart and they felt willing to share it, know that this is a safe space. And like in Vegas, what happens here in this room stays in this room. And interestingly enough, ever so often somebody would share something that I had no idea, to myself, that we as men carry what we carry sometimes and are hardly ever provided that safe space to unload. So just saying that to say, man, being able to provide a safe space to be able to vent, but not having that safe space is something that we hide and that we hold, or that I hold, in order to be able to save face. So hopefully I answered your question.
You did. I didn't think your response would be that short. I thought you would have took like the next 10 minutes just to answer that one question.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, it's a short, concise answer, and I love it.
Yeah.
So for me, if there was a part that I feel like I have to hide to be strong, I honestly don't know, because I think I stuck myself with this question.
Okay.
So I could probably say one thing I would have to hide for everyone, for me to be strong, is maybe like my empathy or my sympathy from people. So, or empathy, sympathy, consideration, those all kind of fall in the same line for me, but I know they don't all mean the same thing. So So if you've been around me enough and you know me, you know that I don't say I enjoy it, but I give everybody the benefit of the doubt because I'm not them. I don't know what they go through on behind closed doors when they're not in my face. When I'm not with them, I don't know what they go through. I don't know what's in their mind. I don't know. So I like to give people the benefit of the doubt to be like, hey, you know what? This person must be having a bad day. Hey, you know what? This child must be dealing with something difficult. They don't know how to maneuver it, but I want to help them. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
this person may not be dealing with whatever, but I'm going to show them that I care, and I'm going to be that one person to be like, hey, you're welcome here. Hey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know that I like your presence. You know that I like it when you're here. So that way, when they leave out, it's not like, oh, nobody cares about me, nobody likes me. I like to I like to make everybody feel welcome
Mm-hmm.
and make everybody's thoughts and feelings sound like they matter and feel like they matter.
That's big,
Because
man.
I personally, I don't want to be that person to where you tell me something and I verbally tell you I don't care. Or
Right.
I verbally tell you, you know what, just go sleep it off, go drink water. No.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
Yeah.
people actually have to get their feelings out
yeah.
for them to fully express what they're feeling. Sometimes people can't talk about what they're feeling. They can't fully express what they're actually feeling inside their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, some things can't be explained. So I want to be that one person to be like, you know what? I understand. I'll give you a little bit of grace this one
Mm-hmm.
time,
Mm-hmm.
but don't be comfortable in it.
You got me looking for my notes, man, because my notes that I had taken, or actually I found them. That was what I wanted to talk about when we were dealing with the men's mental health. Is right to what you're saying, and hopefully you don't mind me chiming in real quick. But
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
difference in empathy and sympathy, and I'll just read real quick, just a little bit
Mm.
of the two or three of the major differences. So to be empathetic is to show feelings with activity, being active in
Mhm.
showing it, versus sympathy is a little bit more passive. And I'm just reading off these notes that I got off of Google. I could go into my own head, but also understanding someone's feelings as if they were your own is empathy. And what I hear that you're sharing is that you seek to provide a level of sympathy if you may not be able to relate. But that also, if you're able to relate, it sounds like you also seek to provide a level of empathy. And like I said, I wasn't expecting to use these tonight, man, but you really hit the needle on the head right there. That is something that and I salute you on that, because that's something that not many people do. They don't meet people where they are and provide that safe space for people to be able to share and talk. And the fact that you do that, and I'll assume Mr. Hamilton, you probably do that as well, for both of
Yeah.
you all being,
Mhm.
professionals in the educational world,
Mm.
classroom. I'll assume you gentlemen have students that come to you ever so often and say, Mr. Hamilton or Mr. Greenfield, whatever the case may be. And you may have something else that you're doing, but you stop and you give them however many minutes or however many, you know, whatever, you provide a space for them to be able to share so that they don't take that to the next class or they don't take that into the next situation. So I appreciate you sharing that, man. Like I said, I wasn't prepared to share these notes, but when you hit
Yeah.
that, you made me think about the difference in empathy and sympathy, that many people don't understand the difference of the two. And I didn't give it as just due by reading it. But it is a significant difference, and it's important to know the difference of the two, because you could be providing one versus the other, and the person is in need of one over the other. So it's important to be able to be present. So salute to you, Anthony, with that, man.
And look, my students know that I do it every day. Just don't tell Miss Edwards because I've definitely lost a few. Like I've lost a good chunk of lesson time doing that,
Yeah.
and like I always do it. But I'm not saying I'm mad at myself for doing that. It's like I'd rather show the kids that I care and
Hmm.
that school is not only important, but it's so much bigger than just school
It really is,
because
man.
Mm.
everybody has problems inside and outside of school. So,
Yeah.
and people are going to say, oh, you can just go to a professional. Oh, just push them away and send them to this person. No, stop telling them that. Uh,
I,
Listen,
I,
I still would like to help people as much as possible.
I
Yeah.
think
Most definitely.
I was about to say, Mr. Hamilton, I know you got something. I'll say this
Yeah.
last thing. I don't know if I said it on this platform, but I know I said it on one before. Me being in the field of counseling, therapy, life coaching, all of that. I always say that if we really, as just everyday people, lent a ear to one another, people such as myself wouldn't have a job. And what I mean by that is individuals would not have to pay for therapy or pay for counseling if we really were better friends and better family. You know, a better support system within the communities that we are a part of, or better support systems within the families that we are a part of. So that's the biggest thing I want people to take away from what I'm saying, is that we need to show more empathy and sympathy to one another by sometimes just being still. Like you just said, Anthony, sometimes allowing ourselves to be inconvenienced, not always be so ready to get on to the next thing, and stop for a moment and say, you know what, man, tell me more. You know, I clearly I see that you got something going on, and literally make them comfortable by like showing that you're willing to stop what you're doing. We have no idea. And I can tell you this from a professional standpoint, meaning a statistical standpoint, more lives could be saved. And then I'm saying it in the literal sense, and also man, I'm lost for the other word for the moment, but in a figurative sense, if we just stopped and listened. If we just tuned our ears in a little bit more to one another to say, you know what, whatever you have on your heart, whatever you have that you feel as though that nobody's willing to listen, I'm here. Talk to me. So salute to you, gentlemen, for the fact that I know that you guys do that, and probably sometime take up more time doing your classroom time than need be. But kudos to you, gentlemen, to be those type of teachers that y'all are.
Yeah, we try to be there.
Say before you move on.
Yeah, I mean, we just try to be there for the students at the end of the day. We try our best to, it's almost like, I remember I cut hair for a year and a half back in Virginia. So, when they say when you're a barber, when you cut hair, you're almost like the counselor. Almost like they're in your face talking to you, so you're hearing what they're saying. That's how students are when they come to us. They're in our face, telling us the problems. We have to be like the counselor right there. So we're their parent when they're at school.
Yeah,
like a trusted community figure.
Yep.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So.
Well said, I can definitely name. I'm not gonna say them, but I can name a few students who they want me to go to their after school like sports competitions. There was one girl that said that she goes to like a travel team and they travel to like state to state and she wanted me to go. And I'm like, who's gonna drive all there? Who's giving me gas money? Yeah. If you give me gas money, I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll go. But then there were also times to where I've had students come up to me and they tell me like their relationship problems. And they'll be like, oh, well, I don't know what to do about this girl or this boy. I don't know what to do. Mr. Greenfield's so confused. What should I do? What? And I'm like, I remember when I was in middle school and I felt these things. So now it's just like a full circle moment for me. And it's like man, I actually this is one of my best works. So actually staying on the topic of emotions, I actually want to know that for the second men's mental health question, what emotion is difficult for you to express and why? So I'll say it again for the viewers and for my panelists. What emotion is difficult for you to express and why? Let me start off with this one.
I'll go ahead.
You go ahead.
Yeah, that one. So I know a lot of people may say they have difficulty expressing emotion, but I challenge people to think that as a man, you should know how to express your emotions, especially at a certain age. Because if you don't know how to express your emotions, that's being emotionally unavailable. So you have to express yourself some way, whether I look at, avenues of acting or film or poetry, or, you have to know how to express yourself. So if you're not expressing yourself, that's you bottling things in you and you're not being healthy. So all the challenge men to try to express themselves, do their best, practice healthy masculinity. We talked last call.
Good point, Anthony. You go ahead with it, brother, because I'm stumped.
That is a great point, Mr. Hamilton.
It was.
I can say that my emotion, I do a lot of sarcasm, so maybe I hate to, not want to say I hate it, but it's kind of hard for me to act surprised, or maybe I don't know how to put it, but the best way for me to say it is when people tell me things and they want me to be cheerful and joyful for them because it's a small accomplishment for them. Me, I don't do that. So I may do it a lot fake, like fake times, but there's been rare times to where I actually feel happy for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like even for the small accomplishments, like they got an A on an assignment, or they can bench press or lift this much, or they have this much money saved. They can do this. I think I have that one mindset to say, well, a lot of people always say that, but then soon after you're gonna have those feelings of you're gonna slow down, you're not gonna want to do it, or you may dip in your savings a few times, or you get an A on one assignment. Okay, that's one assignment. What about all the other ones? You're just gonna fail and bomb the other ones? Just that one assignment you want to get an A on? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to say I don't feel joyful for them. It's just kind of complicated for me to be like, oh, you know what? Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. It's kind of difficult for me to do that because I want to actually mean it when I do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to ask you, I was going to ask you, could you elaborate? But I think I get what you're saying, and I always try to take a little bit of what you gentlemen say to kind of help jog my brain to answer these questions. Sometime, man, they're such great questions. So once again, charge it to my age. Repeat the question. Repeat the question for me one more time.
I got you.
Look, let me say this so that the audience understands. I am so paying attention to what you guys are saying that I forget the question, because I'm also, although I'm a part of this panel, I'm engaged into you guys' response. So just give it to me one more time.
I got you. So what emotion is difficult for you to express and why?
What emotion? Okay. Wow, man, you really look, you pulling, you getting you want us to talk. What emotion for me?
It's a mess. Hey, look, it's mental health,
yeah.
We gotta talk about it.
So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if what I share doesn't really answer the question, but I would say probably the emotion that is difficult for me to share at times would be, let's just say, for instance, if it's a situation that somebody has something that happened that was to some degree traumatic, and they may be expecting for you to shed a tear or feel some type of way in that. I would say not in this totality, but I'm just pulling the first thing came to my mind. I'm probably look, this is show my age a little bit. I'm probably moved sometimes with a tear that may drop by a movie be how far I am by when somebody shares something that may, for majority of people, it would be what would evoke emotions through tears. That's something that normally, man, my face stays a little straight. Now I can be extremely empathetic and or sympathetic and be present and engaging with them to talk. But if it's that they have an expectation of me, maybe like shedding a tear with them or something, or showing emotions in that way, I normally might not get that from me. And I'm not saying that that's everybody and that's all the time. That's just the first thing came to my mind, so hopefully I'm answering that question correctly. But that would probably be something that if somebody looked at me, they're like, wow, man, you kind of, that's a little cold, or, you don't have any feeling about what I shared. It's not that I don't, but that's not my first emotion that comes to surface. If it's something that I hear that it's like, I'm not looking at it from that standpoint. If I go a little bit further, sometimes when we hear things that are in the news or in the media, matter of fact, this may actually probably be a better way, a better example, that for many people, it evokes emotion, right? It could be something that where somebody may feel as though that it was some unjust or something that was happening. I'm not moved by it. I always want to know more of the story before I feel some type of way about the outcome. I'm really big on what was the cause. Now, I'm not as focused on what the effect is. So those are times and moments of where when I engage with people, they're like, wow, you don't feel some type of way about this. And I'm like, no, tell me how it happened and how did we get to where it is of what we see? Because the reality of it is this, it's three sides to a story, your side, my side, and the truth. So, and then also the other part of it is we got to realize that when it comes to what we see, it's an old school saying, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Nowadays, you almost don't know to believe any of what you see and still not believe none of what you hear, because this thing right here called the screen, so much can be put here that is an illusion. So, I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, but sometimes that could probably or speak more to answering your question. I usually probably show very little emotion of something that the masses or the majority shows emotions to, is because I want to know more of how is it that we got to where it is of what we see. Let me show me the cause to be able to understand a little bit more of the effect. That'll be my answer.
Wow.
That's powerful stuff. That's very powerful. You did say something that I wanted to talk about. And hey, listen, my young brain it's kind of escaping me right now, or maybe it's because I have a million things running through my head right now. But it was the point when you brought up. Oh my God, when was it? It was the point of when somebody's telling you something and maybe your first emotion isn't that emotion that they wanted, but you had another perspective or another viewpoint on it. So I want to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
And say that I came to terms with whoever is telling me something, whatever news, whatever it may be, whatever emotion they want me to feel is what they expect me to feel.
Yeah.
So like if someone wants me to feel joyful, feel pride and congratulate somebody, and that's not my first response, sometimes they'll look at me like I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, "Oh, well, why don't you feel happy for me? Why do you have that look on your face? Why is all this?" Well, it's because that's not my first emotion when you tell me that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like, "Hey, I had this person die on me. Oh, well, I'm sorry for your loss. I feel bad for you, but I can't give you sympathy, or I can't give you, I'm so sorry for them because I didn't know that person. That person knew you, and I don't have the same connection as you did to that person.
To that,
so
exactly.
I can't give you the same thing that you're looking for.
Yep.
So if you want me to cry with you, I'm not that person.
No.
Wow. So that's what I want to talk about.
No, so what you just said is that you literally put more meat on the sandwich. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're right. I'm right. Yeah. I don't know how. And Mr. Hamilton, I would personally love to hear your contribution to what it is that Anthony is opening up more of, because that is something that man. Like I always say, the old saying, charge it to my head, not my heart. If it's that I'm not giving you what you expect, but don't expect me to give you something just because you want it. I'm that type of person where I'm going to meet you where you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to show and share the love that it is that you're possibly in need of, but I'm not going to have a pity party with you. I'm solution based. Let's figure out how to get somewhere to where we can, to where either we and or you or whoever is in need of healing. That's
I agree. And that's discussions needs to be had, with people, especially in our community. We already have so much going on in our community. So, I know you all probably heard lately saying the phrase going around, hold them accountable. You have to hold people accountable nowadays. Biggest takeaway. So, and in doing that, you have to say, okay, I'm not gonna give you what you want. That's your problem. You have to fix that. Get some help to fix it. But I have my own problems I'm dealing with. My slate may be cleaner than yours. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you have to deal with your problems head on, and get yourself together.
Man, brother, and look, Anthony, if I could say this one thing before you go into the next, is to kind of come alongside with what Mr. Hamilton just said. Accountability, man.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
And when I say accountability, I mean seriously holding them accountable, saying, look, keep like a written tablet. You did this. Accountable. You gotta hold them accountable.
Yeah,
because people will try to get over on you and scam. And
you're even meaning from that end, like hold somebody accountable. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, it's rampant throughout our community.
Yeah, man.
It's rampant. So that's what we have to do.
Accountability is one of the kryptonites that many people suffer from and are challenged by, because at the end of the day, they don't want to face that man or that woman in the mirror. You know what I mean? They don't want to look themselves in the mirror and realize that when it comes,
I let myself go. I did this. I did it. It's like you did it. We're all here. We all see it.
Yeah. And we can be here to aid and assist you
Yeah.
to get from point A to point B, as we ought to be, when it comes to providing aid and assistance to one another. But I got to add that extra A to what you just said. We can aid and we can assist, but we got to be able to hold you accountable.
Yep.
Got to be, and you got to be able to take it. You got to be
Yep.
able to accept it. You got to be able to say, you know what? Okay, because look, you guys are athletes, right? If I
Yep.
remember correctly, I remember the two of you all speaking to this. And I don't know, and I know also, I know our age is different, so I'm dating myself when I go back to those coaches of yesteryear that was not gonna pamper you, was not gonna pat you on the
Yeah.
back, was not gonna tell you good job when they know that you didn't. That's the other part of what helps us develop, is to not be expected to be celebrated.
You can't
When
coddle
you
someone.
can't coddle, man. Come
Yeah.
on, brother. You cannot
Cannot.
coddle
Yeah.
someone.
Right.
I always say stop. To me, one thing, and I don't want to run off on a plug, run off, on a tangent, but that rewarding for no work put forth has been what has been a detriment to me to where it is that society is today. I
Yeah.
think I shared it before on this platform. If not, I shared it on another.
And I
Go
see
ahead.
what you're saying. Yes, because I look at it like this. Good. You brought the sports point. Good point. Because we have. I know Mr. Greenfield's a coach. I'm a coach.
Hmm.
I coach
Hmm.
college golf. And I coach semi-pro baseball, high
Hmm.
school basketball. Could coach middle school baseball and basketball. But I know for a point, from a coaching standpoint, like you were saying, we have people out there who don't put in the work at all, bare minimum. They can get by. Say, I'm gonna make the team. They think they're all good. They're not. They're not doing anything. They're off season. Check on them. What are you doing in the off season? I'm doing nothing. Not
Yeah.
getting ahead. Not doing anything. It
Yeah.
shows. They don't make
Yeah.
the team. They're doing
Yeah.
horrible. The grades are horrible. They're. You can know. You know that when you're a coach. You know who's putting the work. You know who's not.
You can tell, just like
Yeah.
you all as teachers can tell who studied and is prepared when they show up on any given day for class, right? When
Mhm.
you were talking, what came to my mind is the fact that we live in a day and time, and I've said this before, we live in a day and time where everyone is celebrated and congratulated as though they're special. It's 7, 8 billion people in this world. You
Yeah.
are not special, as though everybody needs to focus on you and
Yeah.
give you the attention that your mom or dad either did or didn't. Your work, your hard work, and your efforts are not always going to be what puts you in a position to experience or obtain success, but you still ought to put forth the work nonetheless. So, just real quick, Anthony, if I could chime in, I want to say this one thing to when we were talking about mental health, and you made me think about something. I wonder, so if it's okay, man, I want to kind of put somewhat of a question slash statement on the table. How much
Mhm.
of men's mental health is negatively affected in today's time by way of so many young men that either play sports, were expected to play sports, or either expected for the outcome of their years playing sports were to have a trajectory or outcome of professional, right? But that they didn't, but because they had so many people telling them that they had so much of their mind thinking that they would, but then when reality settled in and they came to a place of understanding how hard it is, and that really it's a very narrow road of people that are able to make it to that discouragement, hardships, mentally and internally, plague them in their younger years as in moving into adulthood than not. That's something that I just wanted to say. I wonder if that could also be a part or a major part of what affects men's mental health in today's time more than ever, because many young men get into sports, and every young man to some degree expects to go pro, but then the reality of what that looks like is different when they get closer to um the outcome of what their years of playing sports. Could that be, do y'all gentlemen think that could have any effect?
Yeah. I do because let's because the reality is, I'm gonna be honest with me. So I'm gonna give myself an example. Give myself an example of others. So I've made it to pro golf, um, pro baseball, semi-pro basketball, traveling basketball league where there's G League. That's only because I've been playing. Honestly, I'm playing sports past. I've been playing sports since I could walk. I've been doing that a long time, and I don't expect everybody to have the same story as me. But I've been doing that a while. Team, I've been practicing, putting in the work. I work, and Mr. Greenfield. I'll tell you this. I know me and Mr. Dixon. We playing baseball over the summer. Like over the summer, we're playing baseball. And we're
Mhm.
thinking sports year round. We're coaching. We're working with other coaches. I'm in touch with Bowie High School athletic director. So we're building. We're not taking days off. We're consistently building. Now, when it goes for other people, you can check on them who may not have gotten as far as us. They could sit here and say, "Oh, we're just what are they doing? Oh, we're just sitting here eating popcorn, watching movies, not taking care of our not taking care of ourselves in the off season, getting off task, not doing something that an athlete would do." So when you're an athlete, you stick to that. You stick to being an athlete. You don't go all over the place. Like on my, for example, on my Instagram, I put up there, I put on my Instagram music, but I don't want anybody to know that I, play professional sports. That's me protecting myself. At the same time, I'm an athlete. I'm still on the team. I've been on for 4 years here in Bowie with the baseball, so I'm still on the team. Mr. Dixon's on the team with me. I try to get Mr. Brown on the team with me. So we're all, trying to get on, the baseball level, the sports level, coaching. It's a season. We're thinking, go hard or go home sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset you have to be great. Because if you want to be average, everybody's being average. Plenty of people being average. So you have to have that mindset of growth, putting the work, push-ups, sit-ups, even during the off season. Work hard when nobody's looking. So
That's a good, hey, look, that's a good explanation. But Oren, I did want to have a different kind of, I don't want to say a different one, but I kind of want to have a different way of asking your question.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being like family related, could it also be people you've been around, maybe your community, maybe people like you see on an everyday basis, or people that ran into you when you're at the store or something? Because I've had so many instances, like how big I am. I've always had, and I still do. I've always had people come up to me and be like, "Hey, do you play football? Hey, what sport do you play? I bet you play football. Hey, I bet you're on the O line. I bet you're on the D line. Hey, I bet you do this. Yeah, man, I want you on the team because whatever." There was one time that I was doing a birthday party for my coaching job, and and I was in Silver Spring in Montgomery County. And so when I was over there, and after I got done with the party, there was a guy that walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to play for a Canadian football league or play for like a Mexican football league?" And I'm like, "Whoa, where did this come from?" Then he showed me like his Instagram page. He showed me everything. And basically he was trying to recruit me to be on his defensive line.
Wow.
So what I can say to that is everyone looks at the size of the person, because we can all look at a tall person and be like, "Oh, he got to play sports. You got to play basketball. You got to be like a good quarterback or wide receiver." Somebody may look at like a 280, 290, 300-pound guy and be like, "Hey, I bet you're an O lineman. I bet you're a D lineman. I bet you be moving people." Or some people may see like a really strong person or a really built person, and they'd be like, "Hey man, I think you wrestle. Hey man, I think you're like a linebacker or something. Or you're this. Everybody puts the certain stereotypes onto sports positions.
Yeah.
And even with the panelists and people at home, ask yourself this: if you saw somebody that was tall, somebody that was strong, somebody that was just big in general, and somebody who was just quicker, agile, not fast, but quicker, agile, could you point them to a position in sports? Just any position at all? And the answer is yes, because everybody's been doing that all my life, no matter what I do.
And here's another thing. Here's a good way to look at it. We're all almost 30 and above. So good way to look at it. In high school, you have the posers. You have the wannabes, the posers. You get out of high school, travel a little bit, you see the real tough guys, the people who really do it. I always gave this analogy, this thing about the UK. The men out there, they maybe work on a shipyard, fight. You hear about some boxing, fighting, Boston and New England. Those are real tough guys. They're out there working. So you have to know how to No reality and
Differentiate.
what's opposing in
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah,
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 Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well
Yeah.
said. Yeah, good job.
But
Yeah.
I do want to wrap up tonight's show with one more question.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, I'm honestly contemplating if we should do a show next week because next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I do want to say our final question for the night is can you name me 3 things you are thankful for?
Oh yes, yes. I remember this question from last year while I was in show Mr. Greenfield doing around Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Either one of y'all. Go ahead. I'll
Yeah.
follow.
I can go first because Mr. Hamilton been taking the spotlight a lot. So the first thing I'm thankful for, obviously, it's my family. I wouldn't be anywhere without my family. Um, they've helped me through a lot. They've gotten on my nerves through and through a lot of times. But at the end of the day, it's like if I know I need something, I can call them. The second thing I'm thankful for is my friends, both whether it's home friends who I've had for I'm 24. I've had for 18, 20 plus years now, and even like my college friends who I've been with since 2019, maybe since like the start of the pandemic, and we've been through a lot together. Like we've done a lot of nights that we stayed up past 11:59 doing assignments. Times we did late night McDonald's runs going out to the calf or going to Walmart or whatever. So just spend time, hang out, and even for the people that I just met, I appreciate them. And 3, I want to say I appreciate both my jobs. If you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, a year and a half, I'm a 7th grade math teacher and a flag football coach in the DMV.
Mm.
So, and we were just talking about it earlier today at the Commanders training facility, how we were saying we were thankful for just being in this opportunity. I was so thankful that I was able to get into the Commanders training facility. Some people have been there multiple times because those are fans. I'm not a Commanders fan. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not a Commanders fan. I'm a Patriots fan. If I was able to get my job, which is impossible, if I was able to get my job and we go to the Patriots training facility, what? That would be the best 2 hours, 3 hours of my life. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm soaking up every single second, just the same way I did today. I soaked up every single coaching moment, every single second, every single kid that I coached, everybody. Because you got to understand, I was in the same training facility that Jaden Daniels was in when he first came to the league, or when Clinton Portis was in it, or Santana Moss, or Pierre Garcon, or London Fletcher. Just name a few legends and current players off the top of
Mm.
my head, or Terry McLaurin, T-Mac. I was in that same facility that they were practicing on. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? So that moment, I was so thankful for that moment, for both my teaching job, all the kids and all the people I met, Mr. Hamilton, Mr. Dixon, Miss Edwards, whoever. Bro, thankful for y'all, man.
Well, most
Thankful
definitely.
for
I
you.
definitely as I tell you, Mr. Brown, Mr. Dixon, myself, who are
Oh,
all
Mr. Brown, my God.
who
Mr.
are
Brown, that's
coaches
my
or
man.
who have been coaches at one point. We're like I was at school observing. Mr. Brown's in the middle of the season. Basketball season, basketball coach. He's focused on coaching, so we gotta get him in that coaching mode. It's a season. We gotta stay in that mode. Summer, we're in our own respective leagues, we're playing our sports, still in it, but we're still tapping the coaching at the same time. So we're doing that. So let's stay focused. Also.
Definitely.
So go ahead,
Definitely.
Mr. Hamilton. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for honestly, I'm gotta be honest, thankful for a job. It's today's climate, I'm just thankful for professionalism, being professional. Job, I'm thankful for relationship with God and thankful for my wife and thankful for friends and family.
That's what's up.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
what's up. Yeah, yeah. Well, for me,
Or what are you thankful for?
First thing comes to my mind, man. I'm thankful for my salvation, man. I'm thankful for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, brother. Um, that's the number one most important thing that I'm thankful for, because without that, I'm lost. Without that, I have no purpose. Without that, I have no destination. So that's my number one thing I'm thankful for. It's really everything else kind of falls below that. Everything else I'm grateful for with everything else, but I'm thankful for and grateful for that. Um, to just answer the question with the cliche things that granted some of what you gentlemen mentioned and which are very true, I'm grateful, I'm thankful for, but for my other one would be sanity. For the ability to be able to experience things in life and not lose my mind. To be able to be centered, to be able to uh, um, you know have somewhat of a safe space that I can recalibrate, is what I'm thankful for. Because the older you get, you learn that life has a very ebb and flow, like peaks and valleys, pendulum swing, and sanity is extremely important to be able to hold to, because anything at any given time can change. Like I said, for me, salvation, because it lets me know that I am not who is in control. I have to be able to know how to relinquish the things that I think that I actually have control over. It could be people, places, and things. The ability to be able to go before the Lord and pray about it, and literally leave it at His feet, leave it, and then move on. So those are the things that I would say I'm grateful and I'm thankful for, because like I said, man, the longer you live and the more you learn that really we do not control much of anything, but we work so hard at trying to, is when that comes to mind and comes to an understanding of what that really looks like. You can push back, sit back, strap in, and go along for the ride. So that would be for me. And I wasn't trying to be deep or philosophical or anything heavy, but that's just the truth for me, man. I'm grateful for all of the things like you gentlemen mentioned, family, work, all of those things. But what allows me to be able to be present in all of those areas, even sometimes when I don't want to, is to the things that it is that I'm thankful for. Because I'll assume you gentlemen, and I know I go through it as well. There are times that you guys may wake up, maybe didn't get the best sleep the night before, and you're like, I don't feel like this today. You know what I mean? I
All
don't
the
feel,
time.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
All the
Or
time.
either you're
Yeah.
trying to juggle, how it is to manage bills. Mr. Hamilton, I know, like you said, you live on your own,
Yeah.
you're approaching marriage, so all of those things, man, that come with life. Anthony, you're at a place of trying to figure out what that looks like in the very near future. So
Mhm.
for me, when it came to those things, because I was once where you gentlemen are, it's like, okay, how much of it am I going to try to make sense of when sometime it doesn't make sense? How much of it am I going to trust in the process and find out what part that I'm meant to play in the process and play my role and stay in my lane? And
Yeah.
I'm not to be preachy, but I'll just say this real quick. A prayer that I used to pray years back, and I probably need to get back to it, is, Lord, show me how to stay out of your way. For real, for real. Show me how to obey and get in my lane and stay out your way, so that I can be able to see what it is that you have for me to experience. And it always doesn't have to be something that is so grandiose. It could just be peace of mind. And for me, a lot of times that's what it is, to be real with y'all. When we have food, shelter, and clothing, what else do we really need? Don't get me wrong. We wouldn't mind having something warm to lay up next to. You know what I mean? We wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
some things that you wouldn't mind having. But the reality of it is where are you right here? Where are
And
you? Where are you
one
right
other
here?
thing I wanted to add, I think this is important too. I was having this discussion with someone when it comes to mental health, and this is just my personal thoughts. I'll leave you all with this. Mental health. I was my thought process on mental health. Unless you're a licensed, this is for the audience. Unless you're a licensed therapist or someone in a faith-based community, I would say stick to those people for mental health. They'll point you in the right direction. Now, if you're going to your neighbor who's doing the grass and say, "Hey, can you be my counselor?" That's not how it works. Faith-based or licensed professional for those watching. If you need assistance, get your mental health together. Yep.
If I can real quick, I ditto that
Yeah.
2 times,
Yeah.
because you couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah. I think because this is a new topic, mental health. We had mental health. People are like, what is mental health? I don't know what it is. They don't even know the practice. Counselor. They don't know counselor just means social work. Another word for social work. This is news to them. So they're like, what is language? So
Man,
they need to know.
you speaking to it, brother. And I'll say this last part just to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Hamilton just said, Anthony, before we throw it back to you. It's refreshing to hear you say what you just said, Mr. Hamilton, because in my years within my field of counseling, 30 plus years, man, I always say, being a Christian, right? And for me, everything has always been faith-based.
Yeah.
It's been where I try to share with people, you really have to be careful of who you confide in.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
need to make sure that who it is that you're trusting. And I think, Anthony, we talked about this a week or two ago within what we're talking about in men's mental health, is when you think about your feelings and your emotions or something that you're going through, look at it like something that's very, very precious and fragile. Like it's literally, it needs to be handled with care. You have to, and you ought to think about who you're going to hand it to for them to hold it. You don't want to hand something that could easily break to somebody that has butterfingers. You know what I mean? You want to hand it to somebody that at the end of the day, they know how to hold it properly. Let me make sure I say that, as well as know how to set it down. If they don't know how to handle it, that's a whole nother conversation. So thank you, Mr. Hamilton, for saying that, because a lot of people miss that, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss that. And it's paramount when it comes to the health of the mind and health of the heart. Yep. Anthony, right back at you, brother.
All right. Well, it has been a great episode for tonight. Like I said, everybody has to. I'm gonna say you have to be thankful for something, but everyone has something to be thankful for.
Yes, sir.
That's a better way to say it. Everybody has something to be thankful for, no matter what it is. It could be indirectly, it could be directly, it could be something you see every day, it could be something that you are personally thankful for, but it doesn't matter. Everybody has something they're thankful for. And just like Mr. Hamilton said, men's mental health isn't talked about a lot. Around June and November, maybe you'll see some posts about it, but we need to make men's mental health all year round.
Yeah, man.
Because so many times when I scroll on social media and I'll see, okay, people don't care about men's thoughts. The minute a man says something, he's automatically called racial slurs. He's automatically being bigoted, or he's being named all these crazy things. Like, men will be called everything but a child of God from the minute they walk outside of the house to the minute they walk back in. And that's why men need safe spaces. That's why men need peace, because they need a home base where they can settle down.
Yeah.
Men need a good space to where it's like if they walk out the house and they have 5 million people call them crazy names, but then they come home and they have people calling them crazy names, there's no safe space.
Yeah.
You can't have a safe space in your house, or no, you can't have a safe space out there if your safe space isn't even in your house. I hope that makes sense to
total sense.
all my young viewers. So remember that when you guys go to work, when you go to school, when you go to your friend's house, when you go to the basketball court, you go to a football practice, whatever sport activity you go to, please make sure that you are at peace when you do it.
Wow.
Because if you're not at peace at home, what makes you think you're going to be at peace over there? Because you're going to bring that chaotic household, that chaotic feeling in the house over to wherever you're going. You're dragging it out places, and now you're spreading the chaos everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Have peace and stability at home.
Yeah.
Please, everybody check up on a male figure, a brother, a father, a stepfather, a barber, a grocery worker, whoever it may be. Please check up on them. See what's up. Talk to them for a little bit. You don't got to talk their ears off. Just ask them a simple question. Hey, how are you?
How you doing? Yep.
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey, is everything going okay?
And mean it.
Please mean it. Don't just go over there because I said to do it.
Yeah.
Go over there because you actually want to. That's why I said check up on one person.
Yeah.
Whoever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's our time. Those are my final words.
Yeah.
So everybody, please stay tuned. We may have an episode next week. So everybody, please be safe. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Have a good one, everybody.